right? So let's try and see what you need to keep in mind when you're looking to collaborate, or you're rather looking to identify opportunities to collaborate with your existing customers. What do you need to keep in mind? Now, obviously, the first thing you need to keep in mind is you need to think about targeting your customers, because in order for you to identify opportunities to become an additional resource, to integrate into your customer's business, become a partner with them, obviously there's certain criteria. So certain markets, customers, verticals, industries, you're better in those specific places. So look at your differential advantage, look at your customers' needs, values and expectations, because that's got to be your starting point. Because if you target the right customers, in other words, part of identifying who your tribe is customers that it's easy to integrate into their business, customers where it's easier to find ways to become an additional resource, to form partnerships with them. Because remember, when you form long-term mutually beneficial partnerships with your customers, you'll never lose them. You get referrals, recorded testimonials, you wow your customers, etc., etc. So you want to, first of all, make it as easy as possible to integrate into your customers' businesses, and that starts off with targeting, starts off with you identifying the perfect customers for you to find opportunities to become additional resources, etc. Right? Collaborative selling takes a lot of effort and time. So invest time beforehand to properly qualify, or should we rather say in our case, disqualify prospects who are not part of your tribe. The more effort you put into identifying or finding customers that are easy to integrate, right? Remember, start off with the ones that are easy, because as you learn the art of integration, as you learn the art of identifying ways to integrate, become additional resource, form partnerships with customers, it becomes easier. So to get started, go and have a look in your markets. Go and say, as part of my tribe of customers that I'm going to integrate, collaborate and form partnerships with, who are the easiest ones for me to get started with? Because like I said, once you've built up the skill, integrating into those more difficult customers will become far easier, right? You want to make contact with your future customers in a professional and cost-effective way. So think about it now. When you're wanting to integrate into your customers' businesses, obviously by identifying your tribe, by knowing who the easiest customers are to form partnerships with, it becomes a lot more cost-effective, doesn't it? It becomes a lot easier for you to integrate into those businesses. I can't say this enough times. As a sales professional, you have got to identify, you've got to find ways to simplify sales as much as possible. You don't want to work too hard. You don't want to struggle to close customers. When you identify your perfect prospects, when you know what industries, what markets, what customers are the easiest to form partnerships with, it becomes really cost effective for you to do that. Next, you want to use various methods to connect with your customers so that you can create a perception of high value. So remember, we've spoken about a multi-channel communication strategy. So what multi-channel communication strategy using social media, email, the telephone, various other methods, what are you going to do to easily engage, to remind your customer? Are you going to send e-signs? Are you going to send ebooks? What other free resources, what other tools, what other sales enablement tools, resources, sales information can you utilize to integrate, to become an additional resource to your customers, right? The most effective way is to find a networking opportunity, right? So if you're looking to identify customers that you can easily integrate into their businesses, like I said, you start off by saying which market, which industry, which customers are the easiest to integrate into. The next thing you do is you say, okay, so where do they hang out? Once I find out where they hang out, associations, networking opportunities, organizations, places where these customers will hang out. The easiest way to engage with them, the easiest way to start the process of integrating into their businesses is networking opportunities. Because when you get to meet these customers at networking opportunities, association meetings, etc., you don't have to get past gatekeepers. So think about that. What networking opportunities are there to identify where, or should I rather say, to find your customers, your perfect tribe? Where do they hang out? And how can I get to meet those customers at those networking opportunities? You want to use a combination of telephone, letter, social media, email, e-signs. Use every possible method you can think about. Don't forget about the telephone to connect, engage, to stay connected, to stay engaged with your customers. Because ultimately, integrating into your customers' businesses is all about wanting to help them, to be of service to them, to find innovative ways to add value to them, and importantly, it's to connect, to communicate, to keep them in the loop all the time. So what is your strategy? What is your process that you're going to follow to, first of all, identify the perfect prospect who you can integrate and collaborate and form a collaborative partnership with? Then what are you going to do to identify those opportunities to become that additional resource? The effort you're going to put into doing this will secure customers that will never leave you. You will form a set of loyal, raving fans who will not only never leave you, recorded testimonials, edification, and referrals.